Yeah.
It is 6 o'clock. We will open with roll call. Mr. Ogilvie. Mr. Reynolds. Here. Mr. Tracy.
Here.
Ms. Watkins. Ms. Flint. Here. Mr. LaPerner.
Here.
Ms. Jackson. Here. If you will all join in the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the agenda, we have meeting minutes of September 17th, special meeting minutes of September 19th, fire department meeting minutes of September 27th, library meeting minutes from multiple dates. Their summer minutes from June, July, and August, and planning and zoning meeting minutes from September 24th. Got time to look over all of that.
Planning and zoning meeting minutes are right in front of you. Probably late Friday. Just a short little.
So I have a motion by Chastity Reynolds to approve the minutes and place on file. Second by Nancy Flint. All in favor? Any opposed?
Opposed.
We have one opposition.
And that is just because I don't understand the library minutes. I just need to look at it a little more in depth.
Okay. And you could probably always reach out to either Nancy or Lisa or Deanne or who else? Jamie. Any of the above people if you have questions on this. Okay. All right. Next we have bills to pay of $91,428.50.
I make a motion that we appropriate the funds to pay the bills.
We have a motion by Bob LaTurner to pay the bills. Second. A second by Chastity Reynolds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have just a notice here on, there's a public forum solar energy meeting, and I know this came from Commissioner Moats, but Commissioner Frazier is here too. I don't know if she could speak on it, but it's on October 15th, so that's next week at 6:30 p.m. Is this just a Q&A type deal?
What did you say?
The public forum for solar energy?
It's just for information, exchange of ideas, to hear from the public what their opinions are on solar farms and perhaps zoning. So just exchange of ideas.
Okay, so exchange of ideas next week. That's at Columbus High School Auditorium. So they wanted us to make mention of that if anybody would like to attend that.
What was the date on that?
October 15th at 6:30 at Columbus High School Auditorium.
Can I ask Myra? Myra, can I ask you something?
Yes.
On the solar panels, are they not just in perpetuity, or do they have to be? What happens with them? I can't get that right in my mind. What goes on with solar panels?
In perpetuity or what?
Or do they have to? Do we have to do something with them after a certain amount of time?
You mean as far as decommissioning them?
Decommissioning them, or are they hazardous waste? Or
well, there's this much information online, and
okay.
So
all right.
You pick what you want to believe.
Okay. That was
I'm not trying to be flippant, but that's really what it comes down to. There's so much information.
that was why I was asking you. I've seen so many different things about it. I don't know what to think. I should look more, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Del Hellwig, you are up.
Well, first off, thanks for letting me come, and I'm director of the Cherokee County Economic Development Corporation. So I came to give you an update on some things that's been going on, but also some information that you're probably going to want to know. First off, thank you for your membership. You guys support our organization every year, and we appreciate that. And we'll have our awards breakfast next week on the 16th. They're at Little Brick Inn in Baxter. Last year I think we had it in Galena, so this year it'll be in Baxter. Just a few things that you need to be aware of. Cherokee County, we applied to be part of what they call the Main Street program. Now that's typically for cities to be a part of, but we do not have a city big enough in Cherokee County to be part of that program. So I asked the state if we could be part of a countywide Main Street program where we build up industry along main streets and basically everywhere, but kind of Main Street and then revitalize Main Street. They said they don't have a program like that, but we want to start one. And so Cherokee County was nominated as one of 4 counties across the state to be a pilot program. So that will be starting here in hopefully November, December-ish timeframe. There's some training. We've actually hired, that's on the sheet down there, we've hired some part-time staff. Holly Johnson, she's probably going to be a main part of that. So she'll be knocking on doors around Main Street probably here shortly. So the other part that kind of goes with the Main Street program is, a couple of you may know, we got a $10,000 marketing grant from the Kansas Department of Commerce to do Route 66. And so that'll promote a lot of businesses here in Galena as well as Baxter as well, and Riverton, kind of everything along as we get ready for the Centennial there. So just wanted to let you know about some things that are moving forward. Along with that, our office on behalf of the county submitted a $25,000 attraction grant to the Kansas Department of Commerce to repaint Rainbow Bridge. We're in the process of, that'll be $25,000. It's going to be over $100,000 to paint the bridge. So we're applying for another grant. That'll be the Historic Preservation Funds grant. So hopefully we can help the county get that and get the county's going to do it anyway. We're just trying to get some reimbursement back for the county to help some expenses there. So just some other things I wanted you to be aware of. I know you guys work with businesses and small startups along the way. Our office has what they call e-community loans. Those are gap financing. They work with the banks. Most bank loans for small businesses are about 8 to 9%. We can fund up to $50,000 at 4 to 6%. It's 60% of what the total loan would be, up to $50,000. So if you know somebody starting up and needs some extra gap financing, please reach out to our office. Now, I say I had 2 minutes left, but our main deal, the reason I came, was I was contacted last week by Jennifer Bungarner. Her information's there at the bottom. The bipartisan infrastructure bill was introduced in legislation passed by the Biden administration for building infrastructure. There's a whole bunch of money left over, so they're trying to get rid of it. Kansas has actually hired this firm that Jennifer's a part of to try to help counties, cities, and municipalities use that money for infrastructure. That includes water, sewer, roads, bridge, anything to do with infrastructure. Now, the down part about federal grants is they're time consuming to get through, but also, so Kansas has, these people will help write the grant. They won't write it, but they'll help with it. But then also there's another fund, Kansas Build Fund, that has about $200 million in that Kansas is putting in to help make the federal match. So you're not having to come up with a 50% match. It'll be more like 5 to 10%. So if you have some major projects, please come my way. Contact Jennifer. I've already talked to Columbus, Baxter, and the county commissioners, and within less than a week, they've already given me information on available grants. So these people are willing to work with you, and so if you have some major projects, please let us know, and we'll try to get together and working on that. So,
how long has this money been available?
I don't know. I just got a shout out last week. So
Just amazed we have not known anything about it, and we could use everything there. We need new water, new roads, new everything here.
So if you can pick a couple of projects, we'll kind of work with it. She sent me several pages for just Baxter and Columbus today. So let us know specific projects. You can reach out to Jennifer yourself, or I can be a liaison for you on that. So if you have any questions, let me know. But Thank you for your time.
Awesome, thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
So you just want an email with project ideas right now?
Whatever, if you wanna put me in contact with the committee, that would be, I know you got bridge and stuff committees and things, so just for water, whatever, Josh, probably holler at me, whatever you need, and we'll start to work on that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That's good news. Christina Turner. Good evening. Hello.
Hello. Okay, my clock has started, which is a fun thing because that's one of the things that I get to bring up. So you ready? The Lazarus project that you guys first touched base on, want more of a conversation about that. Oh yeah, and I have to say, you're not allowed to privately tape me because you manipulate the tape later. Publicly is fine. The Lazarus project, it will be incorrect because the first 3 rows of headstones to the west at the cemetery in Empire are all still missing. We need to talk about that later because time's running down and there's quite a list. There's been several phone calls that were placed and asking about the school zone and the speeding. Really need to look into that. I didn't know if they were calling the police department. I forgot to ask, so I just now saw this. And then of course the mowing at the cemeteries, lots of complaints that the grass, especially up in Empire, has been as high as the knees. And then the splash pad. Can the timer actually be changed longer than 4 minutes? Because as we see, it's a lot like running a suicide drill in basketball. You're going to be running, hitting the button, run to go play, run back, hit the button, run back to go play. Is there going to be plastic benches there for a mom? And it looks like the button's going to actually be in the center, which moms aren't really going to want to sit in the center and be poured on with water. And I know that this whole entire list really can't be answered now. Maybe somebody can be assigned to answer it later. But these are all questions that people ask, and Ashley knows firsthand, and Jessica knows firsthand, because when I bring up the conversation and they're standing there, then people actually elaborate. The people who are asking me to ask. So I get to be your guinea pig. Oh yeah, I wanted to skip that one this evening. Yep, we're gonna skip that. Community garden, when and where is that going to take place? Hint, hint. Can we have more information on that? Have the applications been moved to be with Jessica yet for anyone who needs help in the community? Have we gotten any information about the potholes, which are a walking hazard, I say auto hazard, and bike hazard at 7th and Cornwall, and then of course I've noticed a few other ones. But anyways, oh, the fun one. Halloween judging. Is that really going to happen? A lot of people want to enter their houses. Who's judging? When's it judging? Is that something that Park and Recreation is doing? Was that just a joke on Facebook?
I've not
don't
seen
even
a
know what that
thing.
is.
Oh,
Baxter
Christine,
had
a
a
lot
thing
of
on
these
it, but I
things,
haven't seen it here.
Somebody-
they can be answered. I've never even heard of a community garden, so I'm not sure
haven't
what
either.
that is. I'd be more than happy if there were community members that wanted to jump up and talk about that.
Renee attended the meeting. I attended
I
the
was
meeting.
there.
Jessica attended the meeting, and Bob attended the
Okay,
meeting.
so that went to council meeting.
So it
what
was
we're
a
talking
legitimate
No, that was a
meeting.
meeting in the middle of the day.
about. Okay, so that's not something that we've been privy to as a.
It was
As a
something that
entity.
got, again, granted to our town. And so, but what happened with all that information?
Yeah, that's a
So-
answer I have no idea.
Oh,
because
yeah.
That's the first time I've heard
Tammy
of it.
Allen attended the meeting, on and on and on. So all this stuff kind of gets started and touch base, and people get all excited about it. And then we never hear anything more about it. And so it's a very good question. But we have lots of exciting things moving forward, and people are getting more and more excited for them. So
I didn't see anything about the Halloween judging. I did see a big post in Baxter that they made, and they're
yeah. So it would be
I didn't know.
super cool if we could, I mean, I don't see any reason why it can't be done. We're still toward the beginning of Halloween. We've got a lot of houses here in town that have really gone all out and getting some gift certificates together and, you know, doing a little judging thing.
Yes,
It's
that's what I'm
awesome. So,
Yeah.
just saying. But-
I love it. You know, a lot of times I love ideas, but it seems like people throw ideas on other people to get accomplished. And sometimes that's what we get with, you know, things
That's
not
why
getting
when
done.
they saw
So,
it at Facebook, I don't know what town the person
so
was
it
from.
would be nice for people
or-
that would, you know, if we would have other people volunteer, that's not the same 10 people that do everything all the time, because then it gets overwhelming and confusing, you know, and things like that. I don't think it's a bad idea at all.
Well,
Um,
I don't even know if the person was from Galena or anything.
yeah, I've not seen a thing. She said Baxter.
Baxter's the one
Yeah,
I've seen.
Baxter was on it. So, as far as the potholes go,
Yes.
people don't have to complain to you and come to council. They can directly call the city lot, and write down.
Did you know the Kansas governor got money in the name of Cherokee County to get that stuff fixed?
I had no idea.
She did. She got a federal grant for it.
Right.
I know.
Yeah, did
So,
she give you the money?
And don't worry, because I also asked the commissioners.
But Chrissy, you messaged me, what was it, last night about something? You could have told me about the potholes. He literally worked on potholes all day today, putting asphalt in. So that's not a city council project. That's something you can call me about.
It was on the last list, so.
Okay.
And
Well,
it
it-
hadn't been done.
obviously been there for a little bit for you to notice, so you can let me know.
But if there are people communicating to you, just tell them the same thing. They can call the city lot and give them the,
Well,
the
and you know,
address or
there's
whatever.
somebody in the room who makes everybody feel a little uncomfortable. And you know what? I'm stepping forward and taking the heat. I said that last time when I stood up here. And do we want the last 5 years to move forward into the next 5 years? Do
Well,
we really want the
Hang on a
conversation
second.
to
The
go in this
potholes have
direction?
nothing to do with that.
The
potholes
people-
we need to, hang on a second. Potholes are an issue, we know that, but that has nothing to do with whomever or whatever you're talking about. That has to do with, we just need to communicate with the city lot office, and it may not be done today or tomorrow, but they will get to it eventually as they can get to it. So that could just be a much easier communication thing, and something you can tell those people. I mean, if you want to give him Josh's name, I'm sure he throws his number out there to anybody. There's a direct line at the city
Right.
lot. That's a pretty easy thing to do.
So-
Hang on, let me go. I know the time's out.
Yeah, it is.
The school zone thing, if they'll contact Chief Dopkins right away, he can figure out whether it's speeding, whether they think the light's on too long, too short, whatever. Because those are issues we see all the time. Why is the light still on? It's 5:30. Well, we have after school programs. People don't realize that. But if they will contact him directly, and if you will direct them to contact him, he can jump on those issues right away. I don't know if
Oh,
you've
yeah.
heard of
They
that.
Yes,
have been
and-
calling.
And
They
we
asked
have
that their
gotten some
calls
complaints
stop
about
being-
speed.
Mhm.
There has been some tickets issued over the last month for school zone speeding. And we had contacted the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office because they have speed limit signs, like your speed, that honestly does help reduce whenever we have something like that in there. Whenever they were contacted, they have 2 of these machines. All right, we used them before here. And they went out to check them. All the batteries were corroded and in poor shape, so they had to purchase new batteries. I just talked to the chief deputy today to see if he was bringing that down, because that conversation was had with him last week. They just got the batteries in to replace that. They should be placing that by the school this week sometime. So
So that should help with that.
And again, if we change the tone, you know, on how this is going and how it feels, then maybe people will feel a little more welcome.
Yeah, I don't see any jump going on.
You're right.
There's one more thing on the splash pad. That is, it's not like a timer, so I think it's motion activated. So I think we can set it to where it can be motion activated from this time to this time. So if you want to do 8 p.m. to 8 or 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., but then it's right something along those lines.
Yeah, and it's on the outside perimeter, it's not in the center.
Well, it was said it was gonna be set at 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
I would also,
It was
I would
done
hope
by
to, I
an
hope
employee.
you would encourage people to remind them that this was a project that was raised completely from volunteers and completely off of donors, and they should be thankful if it was 4 minutes or 2 minutes or 100 minutes. They should be thankful for it. So, that's kind of where I am with that situation. Right? Yeah.
Or stay out.
Or what? Or just
Thank you.
Thanks, Christy.
That would be a little.
And just another mention, she mentioned the tall grass as well. I know my code enforcement officer, Josh Davis here, has been going around making note of weed notices, making contact with those people, sending letters.
Strictly about the cemeteries.
Yeah.
They know that we're paying a lot of money on the cemeteries, and the cemeteries have been extremely high.
And I'll agree with that. And Josh has been in lots of contact with them this summer. Like, we've not been super pleased with the contractors that we hired. So yes, we've seen that, and we have been in. Josh has message after message after message dealing with them this summer and into the fall, I guess, probably too. Right?
On the community gardens, that was a Renee thing. I don't know if you could find anything that she's done about that, or.
There's nothing in our office that I can ask.
Well, yeah, that was the first thing that she brought up that I had even heard about it. So
Yeah, it's a food insecurities program. So people in.
hang on, ma'am, you're not on the agenda, so you've got to wait a second.
Yeah, just wait.
And then the cemetery mapping program, I heard that thrown out. They haven't even been here yet. But they're not just going. Did they go through the deeds?
They're working on data now. They
That's-
came in and done all the other things.
That's how they're going to get the ones without headstones, because there's hundreds of graves that don't have headstones. It's not just 3 in the front of Oak Hill.
The first three rows on the west side, all of them have been wiped.
They'll
Pretty
look
much all
They'll
of
look
them
at
have been wiped
deeds
out.
though, not just headstones, because they can't tell.
But like I said, there was more on that information, but very limited time in this room.
Well, if you want to share, if you want to email Josh or something like that, as they're finishing this project, then that'd probably be more efficient anyway, really. Because he and Tracy are the ones that are dealing with the software company with doing that.
And that was, Tammy Allen's thing tonight is who gets what topic. Unfortunately, she got sick this evening.
I would send anything to department heads. So if it's police law related, there. If it's admin related to Tracy, if it's fire related to Steve, anything else to Josh. Or in default, send it to Josh.
We also all have somebody that answers the phone
Perfect.
that routes those things.
Yeah.
You can call any city number and you'll get somebody, a live person, that can route those complaints or work orders wherever they need to go. It's not just Josh's cell phone Sunday night at 10 o'clock. There are literally people answering phones, getting paid to answer the phone to route your complaints to the right place.
And when in doubt, anybody can call the clerk's office, and Tracy probably knows where to send them.
They make work orders too.
So, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I didn't hear everything that she was complaining about the cemeteries, but they're also being robbed. I mean, they're pulling up the markers, the solar lights, the flowers. They're being destructive to the graves themselves.
Yeah.
That is another complaint that we have also. And that's very disrespectful too.
Sure it is. Yeah.
And I have gotten a few calls about that. I have put that into a system basically for all my officers to see for extra patrol.
Yes.
So that we can do a better job of trying to patrol those areas.
And I know that's hard
have
for
problems.
you guys to do, and I personally have thought of having a midnight stay, but then you will get a midnight call, and it won't be pretty if I'm the one there. So I just want to
Maria,
warn
that
you.
I appreciate you letting us know.
That gives me a good opportunity to remind everybody that decorations in the cemetery cause huge maintenance problems. And by ordinance, decorations are only to be there 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after Memorial Day.
Right.
But there are shrines out there
Yes.
that, it takes extra time to go ahead and mow and weed eat around those. So that's part of the maintenance problem is all of the folks that go out and put the extra stuff on there that aren't really permitted to be there.
Right. But if we maintenance the graves ourselves, then that shouldn't be a problem, correct?
It shouldn't be. There's a
Okay,
lot of them that say owner maintained that stay taller than the rest of it though, so just something to keep in mind.
I know, but this grave that I'm talking about is owner maintenance, okay?
Okay.
On my heart, I swear.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
And you know, I mean that.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. And if maybe we can think of a better way to help police that, or
Lock the gates.
There is no
There is
gate.
no gate.
There is no gate at Oak Hill.
That's not gonna help. We have the same problem in Dublin. It's theft is, I mean, it's brass, it's bronze, they're trying to go to.
You get phone
recycled,
calls
they're
down,
getting money out of it.
My 4 other people lost.
You get phone calls. There's headlights in the cemetery, don't you?
We have, yeah.
I know. The sheriff got one last week because I don't have your number.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'll give you an
Ring doorbell.
ding, you'd be dinging all the time.
Go up on the phone.
All right, Mrs. Allen. I know you just walked in, but you are next.
I just have some questions that I was hoping could get answered here. I'm just wondering who is running the city?
Well, the day-to-day is really department heads.
Okay, so when we have a question that we need answered, who do we go to get it?
So we kind of addressed this right before you walked in, I think, with Christy, because she was talking on your behalf. She said you were not feeling well. But if you know specifically what department you think it falls under, you could call them directly. Like Josh mentioned, we have people that would, during the daytime, during the office hours, that can answer the phone or email. We have email too. If you don't know if it's a question you're not really sure who it would be directed to, I'd recommend calling the clerk's office, and then they can help direct where that would go to.
Okay, because every time I ask, it's either not their department, they don't know the answer, call the mayor who doesn't call you back.
Oh, Tammy, I've called you back a million times.
Yeah, but I mean, I have called and left like 3 or 4 messages. I need to talk to you. Can I please talk? And you never return the calls. So I'm getting frustrated of being blown off when I want to ask a question. And there doesn't seem to be a city manager. We can't ask them.
Yeah, we don't have a city manager.
Right.
Really,
So-
we couldn't afford a city manager, probably.
Right. Okay. Okay. Is this the attorney?
Yes, this is.
I'd like to ask you a question since you don't return your calls either. I know that the city has you and other attorneys working on Royce's case. And you guys are all lawyers. You went to law school, right? You work in law offices. That are filled with law books. You have access to other lawyers as well as sites online. So why is it you sit and collect our tax money, but you do nothing to help with this problem?
I'm confused on what she's not helping with.
Well, how long have they been getting paid, 2 or 3 of them, to work on this thing with Royce? And it's going on and on and on and on. And they can't seem to come up with anything, but have access to stuff none of us do.
Well, in lawsuits, a lot of things are not privy to the public when it's.
Right, I don't want to know what she's doing. I want her to do some work and earn her money.
Well, she does a million other things. Besides, I mean, that's been one of the things with this lawsuit, which has frustrated you, obviously, because you are openly frustrated right now, and I feel like taking it out on our attorney.
Well, she won't come return my calls, so
but
how am I supposed to answer?
Wait. Give me your phone number right now because I will run it through my system and see exactly when it was called and I didn't call back because I didn't get a message. So
Well,
tell me.
not in front of all these people, I won't. Some of these I don't want to have my phone number. But
Do you want me to give it to her after the meeting?
sure, that's fine. That's fine. But, all these lawyers can get together. There are all kinds of solutions, but you haven't done nothing. And it continues to go on and on and on.
Oh, Tammy, I wish you could see my email right now of all the things we've not done in the last week. In the last week alone, just the emails I have from attorneys. It has been non-stop. And I hate to say this with a school board member right here, but it's almost consuming my full-time job of teaching because it's a constant. Can you sign this? Can you call me here? Can you do this? And it's, when I say overwhelming, it's very overwhelming.
I'm
So to
sure.
say we're just sitting back doing nothing
Well,
is not only is not only hang on a second. Hang on a second. Is not only not the truth, but it would definitely be a lie because all these two are in all the same email thread, and it is. I mean, I'm not kidding to say 24 times a day, email after email after email after we have to have a response right now. We have to have a response. Can you sign this document? Can you get this document? I mean, it is non-stop.
I'm sure that it is, but they had this case for 20 years. You can't come up with any, you can't get together with the other lawyers. I mean, there's all kinds of precedents of things that have happened before. They put together something
The
that
problem
can
is
stop
we
it
would
from
love
going
that.
on.
Yeah, we would love that, but courts view that differently than what, our eyes view that. So that's, we're under the premise of the courts and judges. And, as much as we would like something to be done, if that's not the way the courts and the law works, then we can't force that to happen.
They're not even trying to force it to happen. They've done nothing. And it just continues on.
Again, I would disagree with you 100% that they're not trying to do anything.
Well, then I'd like to know what it is because we sure don't see it. Okay, I want to address the house on 5th Street.
Okay, your time is up. Hang on.
You talked half of my time.
Ma'am,
so.
I was just going to say, because I responded to you, I will give you 2 more minutes because I was responding to you. So you can continue and I will not interrupt you at all.
Okay. The house on 5th Street that's covered with bubble wrap has been sitting in that condition until they put the bubble wrap around it for over a year. Any other resident would never be allowed to do that. And we'd like to know, the people that live in that neighborhood, and we have to go by there, want to know a date when you're going to either make it a house again or take it down. All it is a big screw you to the people in the neighborhood who have to drive by there day after day after day. We live there. So I want to know when they're either going to, if Gary Rose says that that's a stable foundation, I think he needs to go back to school. There's nothing stable about it. Things are falling off. There's half a roof. I mean, come on. I'm fed up with it. Either do something about it, fix it, or take it down. So that's how I feel about it. Do you have anything that's going to happen? Because that is not something that you can sustain for 15 years. It's bubble wrap. So are they going to do anything or aren't they? And this question you can most definitely answer. Whenever Royce came in here and demanded that you refund money for a videotape he requested that his son paid for, did you give him the money back since he requested it? And he stated right in the meeting that he hadn't viewed it, but that stuff on the video had been altered. Well, how would you know if it was altered if you hadn't looked at it? Did you give him his money back? That's, our clerks worked to make that tape for him and dig up that information. So they weren't working for the rest of the city. Did he get refunded for it?
Did they even give it back? Yeah.
And are you going to give it back?
Well, I don't plan to.
Then if you're the one to answer the question, then it's no. Okay. Those were my questions. But I will be back to find out what date we're going to do something about that house, one way or the other. Because it's been over a year.
All right. Department heads. Fire department.
I got a couple things. Runs were 372. We're up about 15% from 2023. So, like I said, we don't have a lot of rain coming right now, so it's probably going to be a busy fall for us. And then the other thing I'll bring up, the council voted back in 23 to allow us to get put on a list to look for a brush truck to replace our final brush truck in our rotation, with the premise if we did that to give our 2006 four-wheel drive that we're currently using to Josh in the city for them to use, which is a 3/4 ton four-wheel drive. So we were hoping that, we're going to use township money for that. I know myself and Neil has talked a little bit about using monies on that for making payments, which we've only got one payment left of our big payment for engine one and tanker one that will come due next year and will be paid off on that. So what I'm asking for is I got a call last 2 weeks ago that it's going to be a little quicker than we thought on having one available, because these are custom built. They would actually mirror the two that we have now, which we just got one 2 years ago, and then the first one we did, we just actually remounted the current bed that's on it now on a truck that we had. So basically this would mirror all three of them, which would give us a very safe frontline equipment for our brush units. All the occupants would be inside the cab and or inside the row bar with belts on, so in the event of a rollover, pretty safe. So good thing is they're all mirrored each other. Like I said, all the equipment's in the same place, so it's easy to get to. They all would know. So what I'm asking for is, like I said, it came up. We've got the money in the township money that we raised, or that we were able to afford back in 19 to do this at a cost of $137,463. And that would afford us, if we did that, is if we wanted to make that final payment next year with township money, we could do that as well. Which again would be our final payment on that one.
Is this something we take to committee real quick?
You're saying, did we?
No, is it something we can take to committee?
When would you have to know?
Well, and I mean, I feel like we did discuss
could,
it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we discussed it in November, and I'm fine with it if he has one available. I think to see him go back on a wait list and have to wait for something to come back up. But
Yeah, we could go back on the list. I just don't. I mean, it's probably going to be a while, but I don't know that. We thought it was going to be end of year, first of the year, but they had a chassis come available from Ford, so they were able to kind of bump this particular one up. So.
And what I like about the township money is it's recurring money that's not our money. So, I mean, you spend this, we're still gonna get, what have we got in? Between 60 and 75 a year?
We'll set to get in next year, close to 70.
Every year, so.
Been nice because we've been able to replace quite a bit of stuff with it, so.
You don't see a big change coming in the township money. It's pretty stable.
If you look at the last, from 19 on, it's been that 66 to 70 some $1,000 range every year ish. It's just like anything else. It's what taxes they collect. So I mean, it's not going to be 100% every year, but it's been that range.
It stayed in the same range, yeah.
It's not just going to go away.
Oh no, I mean, unless the commissioners voted on that, but I would bet they would not do that.
No.
And the beauty with that is, like I told you last time, is we meet with all 6 of ours every year, and the way that is, it's an auto renew unless the fire department and or the township has questions. It auto renews at that 2.5 mils every year that they. So.
I motion that we approve, but do we need roll call?
Yes.
So a motion by Chastity Reynolds to move forward with the purchase of the truck at $137,463. Second by Nancy Flint with a roll call vote. Mr. Ogilvy?
No.
Mr. Earl?
Yes.
Mr. Tracy?
Do I have to vote?
I don't know, really.
You don't have to.
I mean, you don't have to. You're new. You can, yeah.
Do you need
Yeah.
any information? You need new information.
Yeah.
Neil, you want to discuss it at all anymore?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I actually think I made the motion for what we're talking about, but the premise was also not quite so soon. So at that point, I would like to see it go to committee so we can at least talk a little bit more about the particulars. I'm not against the truck, but it's also a lot when you're talking about, budgets and the whole 9 yards. So yeah, that's my whole thing. It goes back to committee at least we can get a recommendation from it, and yes, I am on fire, so I mean, I'm definitely supportive, it's just.
Well, we're in the middle of the vote, so we gotta finish. Yes.
Ms. Blunt. Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Ms. Jackson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That's it, thank you.
Library. Ms. Bash or Ms. Wade?
I don't think we have anything.
Nothing, okay. Police.
Yes, I was contacted today by Columbus Police Department. They had 3 X26 tasers that they are no longer using, and they reached out to us to see if we would want those. So that's going to help us out. We have a limited number that we basically, whenever an officer comes on duty, he has to check the taser out because we don't have enough to issue to each officer. So these are free, being donated to us from Columbus. They do not have batteries, so we will have a cost of having to purchase batteries for those, but those are fairly inexpensive, and we've purchased those batteries in the past because after they lose their life on the X26, they get disposed of. So, but
And these will last for a while?
they are only a year old. They just had to upgrade, so they last as long as they until they break down. We've had a few of ours break down, but I couldn't tell you exactly how long the life that we've gotten out of that was.
Okay.
But that's some good news.
Yeah. Awesome.
There with that, some free stuff. And the other issue that I had addressed at the last council meeting was a fence that was needing repaired. We had reached out to a couple fence repair places to get an estimate done. We have no estimates back at this time yet, but we did have one. We did.
Wait, W fence.
Okay.
It came through just a little bigger.
Okay. Good deal. And so, can you share that amount, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why I got it. I don't know how.
I think all right.
I got it.
Yeah.
So this is the email that came with it.
Okay.
And then this back page tells you how much.
All right. So I haven't looked this over yet, but they have a estimate here of $3,726.55. And we were told at that moment that this might only be a portion of what it could cost us because it is next to the structure at 1020 South Main Street. So this could only be a quarter of what it could cost, because if that building remains standing at 1020 South Main, which it's on a list now, but this could be 4 times that. I mean, if they really had to try to do the repair next to a structure that is unfit, it will cost significantly more, is what they had said. But I haven't really looked this over to provide you guys copies of this yet, but I can do that in the next council meeting.
Okay. You're part owner of the house, correct?
Yeah, what fence are you talking about? That chain link fence?
Yes.
That you guys tore down?
No, the chain link fence on the north side that belongs to Joe West.
On the north side, on the other side of the house?
Yes, sir.
What's right, it needs repaired, is that what it is?
Yes.
Is it his fence or does it belong to the property?
It's Joe's fence. Yeah.
That was my question as well, because I thought, I wasn't sure which homeowner installed that thing.
Can I talk about the situation now about this?
Yeah, he brought it up to you, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a buyer for
Well,
that house here.
Hang on,
We gotta finish.
No, that's
Is that it?
yeah.
Yeah, well, you were gonna look more into the bid, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, and we have two. I mean, we reached out to a few others, but we haven't gotten in contact with them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have a buyer wants to buy the house.
As is, like just.
As is, he's got to refurbish it and make it back to a nice looking house and sell it. There's nothing really wrong with the house itself. I don't know about this fence, but if that's not a fence for the property, why is it, when was it put up? By the people on the other side put it up too close to the house or what?
Bob and Helen Shockner's the one that put that fence up.
I don't know anything.
Yeah, I
about
can't.
the fence.
And I know that firsthand. I've known Bob and Helen Shockner my whole life.
I know we were contacted by Joe, who's the property owner now, because that fence was damaged. We're going to.
How was it damaged?
Whenever we had an incident there,
The incident
where
that shouldn't have occurred.
Jeffrey was arrested, right?
You
That,
swatted his house, and if you'd called me, I would have came over and got him out of the house for you.
okay. Well, there
But
was an
anyway,
incident
I've got a
that
buyer
involved.
for that house that we need to sell. Jeff needs some money. If
I
you
think
demolish the house, he gets nothing, and we get a bill. This man wants to buy the house, fix it up, clean out around the fence probably, so it should be easier to work on. He's gonna clean the whole yard up first, clean out the house, and then refurbish the house. And I'm trying to get this house, I don't know if we have it scheduled to be demolished, I need it delayed. This guy wants to buy the house. Would you like to hear from him? Or?
I mean, do you have a timeline, sir?
Yeah, I got time.
Could you share with us?
Yes,
Like a
you know, I said I know this family for a couple of years, and so when he talked to me about that, like 2 months or 3 months ago, probably. So I'm coming looking for that house. I tried to talk to the police one time when I put the plywood in the front right there. The police, I don't remember what's his name, but I gave my card to him too. I said, hey, I want to buy it. But just when he told me, you know, it's like you have to go to the, you know, come right here. Like I'm saying, I don't know, this is the first time I'm coming right here in one of these. So I said, like, I need to know what are we doing, you know, because if, you know, Jeff, you want to sell the house to me, I can buy it and fix it, you know, clean, you know, you guys don't have to do anything. I can bring my peoples, and I got a good friends, you know, and I got a, you know, I can bring my whole crew right there. We can clean all that there, so you guys not spend any money to fix it up. If you know, if we can make the deal, man.
And what's your timeline on getting that accomplished?
Like in 3 weeks, probably.
You get all that accomplished in 3 weeks?
Yeah, that take me a couple of time, you know, a couple of weeks to get like my guys.
Sure.
And I got a friend of mine, you know, he got a, you know, to clean it up probably take me like 3 weeks to get with that. I got a friend that I talked to him like yesterday, and he got a machine, you know, so we can bring everything outside, and we can probably rent a couple of dumpsters or something like that. Or
yeah.
I got a friend of mine, Victor Torres, roofer guy. Maybe you guys know about him too, so maybe I can get a hitch dumpster, you know, and we can put it on all the trash inside, and we can start clean first, you know, because that take time to clean, and I'm very sure you guys want to clean that right there.
Yeah.
So maybe take me like, you know, a little bit time to fix it up, like, you know, but I got it, like I said, I got a friend, but probably like in 3 weeks I can get over there, you know, start cleaning up everything, or maybe in 2 weeks, but I'm very sure in 2 weeks we'll talk to my friends and
yeah.
we can start.
Well, I'll just tell you, so this is not speaking to either of you, this is just our history as a council. We've done this before, so the process of demolition has occurred. We've done the hearings, we've done all the steps. We talked to you, I don't know how, maybe about
2
a year
years
ago.
2 years ago, I came down here. Demolition was. I don't remember it being mentioned, but it could have been. But I've never had any official notices sent to my house. My name is on that deed. It's never been. I've never had an official letter to my address.
Yeah, they go to 1020 Main.
That is not my house. That's where my sons lived for 28 years. After
Right, that's what the county lists as the
well,
resident.
people around here knew that my name and my phone number. I could have been called and notified. But anyway, that's all past history. I'm trying to get this thing resolved so he can buy the house and
Right.
and
Well,
fix
so
it.
what I was saying is we've done this before. We're at the point where we can demolish and clean up because that's the issue. And then somebody comes in and says, "Can you give us time?" We've had exact situations like this. Somebody wants to buy the house, so we want to give them the time, and it's worked both ways. Where we see them improve the property, or where they don't do a thing, and then we're back at square one with having to do the whole process over again. Because in good faith, we move forward with these people, and then they do nothing. So it can go either way. I mean, council can choose to do that. I mean, you seem like when you say 3 weeks, that seems pretty quick to show some improvement. I feel like if we saw improvement in a timely manner, I mean, that would be showing good faith moving forward. So it's on the list to be demolished because all the process has happened. So there would have to be a council decision to either, wait. I wouldn't take it off because it's not done any improvement right now. Yeah. So the new owner would inherit the demolition or the condemnation.
Yeah, if I got a little time, like I said, tomorrow I can do a couple of calls. If I got time, maybe like in 2 weeks. I got good friends. I can call all those guys. Like I said, just only you guys looking for right here, like the paper here, just clean it up, make that look,
What if we came back and looked at this in a month? Would you have something done for sure by then?
I'm very sure in a month I'll be okay with that, I'm very sure in a month, I talked to my buddy yesterday and.
A year or more now. I don't think in another month.
A year.
Yeah, that's what I told him. If you guys sit, because this is I hit last year by him, and so I said you give me a month, I'm pretty sure we'll get that right there.
Yeah, he's looked it over before.
Yeah, I'm right there 2 or 3 times. But one day when the police show up right there, I said hey, because he called me. He said, hey, can you go over there to see my son? I said, all right, bro, I'm go over there. Jeff, he don't want to talk to anybody. Just he want to. So he come talk to me a little bit. He told me, hey, you got a cell phone? I said, yeah, no, I don't want to see a cell phone. So I put my cell phone in my car, and actually my wife and my daughter, I don't remember who told me. So and I talked to him because I know his family. I said, I want to sell the house to you. But after that, some cop, turn around the other side. He said, boom, he go inside. He never come back again. So that's when I talked to his dad. I said, hey, buddy, I talked to you. Something, just come for 2 minutes.
So Bob is proposing we'll reevaluate in a month.
Okay.
So it won't be taken off demo list.
No.
Basically, we'll just be stalling for a month to see what progress you do. If it's in good faith and the council deems it that you're making improvements, then I feel like it will be a great deal. If something comes up or you have complications or whatever, just communicate with the clerk's office or with the city lot office, and they can communicate with the rest of us.
Okay.
But is that an emotion, Bob?
Yes, I'll make that a motion.
Well, that's yours.
A second.
So we have a motion by Bob LaTurner to reevaluate 1020 South Main at the first meeting in November. That's all right?
Correct.
We have a second by J.D. Jackson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Candace, isn't there some sort of contract you have that has to be done here?
Yeah, we can get your name and number, we'll try to.
You got another business card? Yeah. He's got a business card, yes. I have a question. Can that junk be hauled to the city dump? You have a city dump here, right?
We've got a C&D landfill, so they just take construction and demolition waste. If it's household trash, it can be taken to public service.
Well, if they go and demolish that house, are they gonna go inside and pull everything out that's household stuff? Really? I wanna get all my son's stuff
We
out.
did it right around the block on Short Street.
Yeah, he's got a mental problem. You guys all know that.
Yeah.
He's in jail now because of an incident that shouldn't have happened, but it's already happened. And he got some evaluation at the state hospital in Kansas, and they've got him on medication now.
I hope, is he improving? Is he doing better?
Yeah, he seems to be doing better.
Good.
But you can't see him. You got to go over and look at the little video screen to talk to somebody. Yeah.
Well, that's probably what he needs to get better.
Yeah, I know. It's too bad it had to be this way. But,
Yeah. Very sad. Yep.
But anyway, he's a good man. He's worked for me before. So
Yeah.
I built houses in Joplin for years.
Okay.
That house is not unsound. It's just filthy, dirty, trashed up.
Yeah.
It's a nice house. It was really, when it was purchased 29 years ago, it was really nice.
We had a house just like this, I don't know, 8-10 months ago, Daphne's house. And it was just in need of a thorough cleaning. And we took it off the condemnation list. So it's not something that we're unaccustomed to.
Well, it sounds good to me.
And I got another question. Does he owe some money, for you guys?
I asked about that.
Okay, so I need to know.
The city, they gave me the information. I'll go over to get it here.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Could we leave now?
Sure.
All right.
Are we not entertaining enough for you?
Thank you,
John. Thank you.
If I can get up out of this chair.
Alright, clerk's office.
Thanks. Thank you.
Alright. Josh.
I think we'll get it right.
So I have a
Thank you.
request from Kenrock Environmental for a haul road out through the city. Basically, they sent me an example of what they did in Kane, Kansas. And they just basically gave them an authorization to use the roads, subject to the ordinances they already have in place. So I think it would just be something that the city attorney could probably look at, or maybe we could write it and have her look at it. And just write them a letter saying, well, these are the routes that you can take, these are the weight restrictions, and then attach our ordinance.
Okay, so this is for what again?
This is for the Cameron Environmental, so they're doing EPA lead remediation.
Okay.
Yeah, you just did one.
For Baxter? So that's something you can,
Yeah, you can give me the,
type up in your.
This is just the example, but we
yeah,
have to
got
give
that,
you
it's,
we have to give you the
our,
ordinances.
yeah, our.
Okay.
Yep.
And then if we have,
So Tracy, can you send me those? I can do it. You're just right there. That's all.
That's it? I need probably a 10-minute executive session, attorney-client. Just keeping in Josh. If somebody would like to make that, and the attorney.
I'll make a motion that we have